Hi, if you'd like to come on in for someone's spirit message today, here's our Inkblot that we are going to scry. Sorry there. And we are also going to add on Tarot and Oracle. And plus we have the Ghost Box here, or Ghost Tube, kicking for any audio additions that may inspire or irritate. So thank you for joining me, and thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to open up with me, you're more than welcome to, or fast forward through. I'm going to close the eyes. Cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Thank you so much for being here, for being my muse.
I hear you.
For the afterlife, for being our muse, and for holding space for me to share my insights. Sorry, I'm already getting a little wonky. There's a gentleman stepping forward. I'll bring this down. There's a gentleman stepping forward. I can see his mustache coming through. Feels like very old times. He's been trying to come through to somebody for quite some time. And he has one of those mustaches that would stand out. I want to say maybe in the Western's coming through, or has a Western vibe about him. He keeps trying to talk to you in the dream state. Could be a father, grandfather, even a spirit guide, but I do feel like he has been incarnate. He cloaks you with a goldenness. And he's trying to speak, but there's like a bubble around him. I don't know if you're not hearing him or wondering why. I'm seeing also willows of the wisp coming through. And here's this person I feel like is incarnate. They could be going through still grief, or grief follows them in some way, shape, or form. So you might also have had, and I'm trying to be very compassionate as I say this, but like a stint of deaths, but his was like the catalyst of loss in some way, shape, or form. I'm seeing tambourines that go like this. I guess they could go other ways. That's not the point. But I'm seeing shells as well. Shells. Something about seashells by the seashore. So it could have even been somebody when, you're young, because I'm seeing a young child at a beach collecting things. I feel like they were a very dominant male.
Stop.
And you might not necessarily have understood them or understood their ways and the way they went about things. There could have also been something about missing teeth. They could have had missing teeth. You might also see white feathers a lot. White or gray feathers, like pigeon feathers or dove feathers. I'm not sure if this is a spouse or otherwise. Sorry, I just had a moment there. Yeah, see, they view you. They're viewing you. But I'm getting the sense I'm seeing them as a shadow, or maybe because that's how their energy is for me, is shadowy. Again, it could be a partner, some sort of male energy, masculine energy, male expressed.
Spirit animal.
And there might have been some things. There might have been some things in the way it went on. So it's like, even if his energy is of light or lighter, I'm still seeing it as a shadow. Because my memory's holding that version in existence. No matter, there's an understanding. I feel as though, I'll take the top one. Yeah. I feel as though there might have been something that happened in our relationship. And I also want to clarify, because I'm not sure if it's amidst the whole relationship or the very moment of grief. And I mean the very moment of grief. And then from that point on, it's like I had anger, or something in relation to into how one left me, what one left me with. There's a daughter, and I don't know if the mother is, or there was a grandmother, they're with their grandmother, or there's a mother also in spirit. I can't decide. I feel like something, it's like maybe this figure, I'm going to say father figure for simplicity's sake, but you know the drill. Follow what you see, sense, or feel first versus my yammerings. I either feel like some sort of injustice with the Medusa here, and it has affected my relationshipsmoving forward to any energies
Let me show you.
of one love. And now I'm seeking within, because I feel like I'm in Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, and I am going into that boat. You know, like it's this big magical land, but I'm going into this boat, and then they have all those visuals, and it's like nasty.
Worship.
Okay, something. Okay, not switching stories, but another rabbit hole that's stepping forward is somebody might be having like a sleep paralysis or something along that lines. I feel like I have to choose between I'm going to say the proverbial light and dark. Here's the funny thing. I think they're both dark. Somebody could have parents that fought a lot. Very protective. But there's something about the daughter taking the apple, taking the bait. But there's this, I think this message might be for you if you're the daughter of something. It doesn't matter how old you are in earthly age. You could be 99.
Logan.
You're the daughter of somebody. You're the daughter of lineages, DNA. You are the light bearer, breaking something, freeing something. Almost as if there's a possibility
Can you hear it?
Leaving, growing up in a very volatile state that seems overprotective. I feel like I'm all over the place here, but hope maybe you can follow this, or thank you for holding space for others to reach their part of the Scry story. It was so protective and overbearing, if I may, very much so. And I'm trying to decide, as I sense their spirit as a shadow, something is being pulled away from me. Okay, so there is an angelic guide here. Sorry if I'm all over the place. There's an angelic guide of the golden realm. And there's like a swordfish, if that symbol means anything to anyone that's trying to come and talk to me, to my soul, to my higher self. And they are being pulled away. They're not being accepted. Because you have made a choice. And I'm not going to work with vengeance of sorts. I'm going to go on my own path. I'm going to pursue my own understanding, because I feel like when I'm being yelled at or something's happening, I learned a defense mechanism that protects my third eye and turns things into stones. I'm seeing bats upside down, hanging, and they are looking at this mustachio person. They also have They might be orioles in birds, but I'm seeing them as cardinals, but they're not red. They're solar plexus. It's like, and now I'm starting to see my own light. And that's what maybe this energy was after. And it's like, I recognize that within myself. This is giving me like weird magician vibes.
How do you feel?
And I feel like they might have driven you a little bit crazy. And you might have even driven yourself crazy at some point in time. Over it, trying to meet the needs of someone else. But I think that you were providing something. They knew something about your essence. And in this collective is of your consciousness. Like they're all in different places. And it's almost like there's some state of confusion. So I drove myself crazy. And I realized I needed to start spending some time alone and getting away from this energy. I took back my consent, even if that was in a different collection. You know what this makes me feel like? In a very weird way. And it's uncomfortable, but I'm going to go there. It's like a cult feeling. Cult, culture. I'm also not getting stuck on the term cult traditionally, but it's kind of like what it feels like. But I also want to extend that word out to the culture of things where I'm just kind of floating around. I am slowly going crazy, and there is this masculine energy, but there's also a feminine energy about it as well.
Tomorrow.
That's kind of doing this I want to say smoke screen, because that's what's coming through. Something's like, and subconsciously with these bats, they're looking down at the masculine from this feminine who is appearing virtuous, but is really vengeful. And see this shadow in here, but again, this is of me, because I am of both, and anything is being pulled away from me, and not anything because it's it's like the moat of spirit guides. They have access to make the decisions because of to help uphold my consent. So while I might grieve, maybe I'm no longer part of this cult, this family, because of, or whatever it is, because of what has come into alignment. Maybe you're feeling hard on yourself, and that state I'm trying to move through. Yes, it's like I'm creating some sort of settlement within myself to settle these things, put them to rest, to inevitably welcome this new chapter. And now the ink just changed on me as I acknowledge that. And these angels are coming in with soft shells now. They're so fluently beautiful.
What is this?
And there's like fairy dust being dropped in because there's something about consent. Yeah, okay, perfect. I had this whole deck upside down. So taking advice from the guides, rebirth and justice. This is what I feel like from the injustice of the Medusa to listening to my own. I give myself very good advice, but very seldom follow it. You left something, a relationship, a resonance, a boss, a marriage, even going through the state of grief. I feel like this is a very big, broad thing where a lot of inception can happen, because it's all about getting out of that cult feeling. And I've come to terms with something and laid it to rest. The injustice to justice. Whoops. The rebirth. The new chapter. And it's like you're settling, but not in the word that we might go, oh, I'm settling. No, it's like different pieces of me are saying things, blowing steam out of my ears. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to settle on me. I'm going to settle on me. And I'm going to take the advice of my higher self, my spirit guides, whatever the case may be. Yep. And I'm going to take that, because it's like the other choices, this is where I end up. Either way. This is not about personal masculine and feminine energies. These feel like external energies. External that I might be attached to in family, or a magician, or a friend, or something along that lines, or a guru. I don't know who it is. But there's that masculine. It's like this continuously coming forward. But you've revoked something. You've revoked your consent to be a sacrifice, to feed something else. The healing is happening. And now it's like the world. Yeah, another page is even on the bottom. And now the world is my oyster, but there's going to take time to like reintegrate what I want, because there's a map of what was before. This is how it was before. Somebody put me in a particular state. Now, granted, on some level, that was consensual, but I don't think I was told.
Inside.
So this could have even been from like a very young age. Again, going back to that child that on the seashore, she sells seashells by the seashore. I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know that. I was told what to do and I did it. And I was involved in an invisible, hidden agenda. And I've left. And I think like both of my parents, and I say parents, but they're somehow role models. That's the point. It's not necessarily about pointing fingers at parents. It could be. But I feel like I am pointing the finger at people who were my role models. And they were prisoners to their choices and consequences. But they gave consent. They didn't give me that chance.
Guide.
But I'm guided by a higher realm now, because I've recognized my light. And that even comes in here not only with the phoenix of reciprocity and respect, but it's like even my Medusa, it's like something I had to go through this. I had to turn into stone to survive. I had to do something to survive what was being done around me, to me, something along that lines. And it had to do with my purity, my essence. And it's very uncomfortable because I want to cry.
What do I do?
Like, I really want to cry. I really, really want to cry. I want to cry at the release of this. Because even going through a rebirth is scary. Stepping away from even what you've always known or parts of you. It's like you're also making a sacrifice, as odd as it may seem inside of the mind. There's a sense of sacrifice that you're somebody else's, or you're going to make it on your own terms. And you got to decide if you're worth that. Somebody else already knows that and has been putting you in place for that, or had. And now you get to do that. And I feel like this Medusa turning the injustice into justice. And then paired with the journey, it's like, I am going to decide to take this journey of my own light. I'll make the sacrifice to sever myself from maybe these people. Because I don't think something's right. Daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you hone. You might also really help other people who have been in similar circumstances. There's weird noises in my room. I thought it was my belly, but because now you're rooted in your new journey. And when I say new, it's just different for you. But now you're rooted and you have followed your intuition. This third eye keeps coming up over and over and over again. Apple of someone's eye. Where are you? Medusa? You've already made a map of where you've been, and now you get to make a map of where you're going. Rooted, may you never fear the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. White feathers. I'm reclaiming something. You could be 1859 or 5975. I don't know how old you are, but there's, even if this is like a recap of something you have been on and done, your intuition has led you because others saw this within you. You hold the answers, you know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. You know what? If you would like to join me, thank you. I'm going to leave it here, but we're also going to do a smudge. If you have been through this, are going through, are severing ties, whether it's family, cult, a job even, whatever the sacrifices that you know that you're making by leaving a job and going to a different job.
Smoke.
From a whole standpoint of, I don't even know what they are. I emotionally feel for you, and I want you to know that when I got really upset, it was of sentiment and proudness, and I'm going to cry again. It's going to make me cry again. And that doesn't make me strong. That is like releasing my purity back into me, nourishing me, remembering. When you're ready, if you'd like to close your eyes, move the jaw around, move the nose, even roll the eyes, really massaging the behind the scenes senses, grabbing the ears, move the head and neck around, whatever feels good. And allow the smoke to waft around just eloquently in the air. You feel my energy stepping forward from about 6 feet to 3 feet. And I kneel in honor.
She told me.
In grace of where you've been and where you're going. Wafting the smoke and smudge around the front body, clearing your path in front of you. Clearing and cleansing the third eye, your physical eyes and your physical senses, and allowing the cellular body and the nervous system to also receive on this level of spirit smoke. Breathing deeply, you can sense it working from inside out. Inside out. You feel my energy stand up and move around, to working towards your back body. Once again, popping myself there. Kneeling down and bowing in honor, grace, and gratitude for where you've been, for the hurts that are healed, for the hurts that will always be a calling card, a red flag that will guide you to not return, to remember, and serve your path moving forward. You feel the smudge and the smoke working through the chakra system, the medicine wheels, the vortexes of the spine, self, soul, and spirit. You sense a lullaby starting to be heard through a harp or something quite divine. And no longer are the days of the tambourine type monkeys, where you've had to display your skills, your sets, your persona, yourself for others. And now it is divine like a harp. Sensing this lullaby working through you to help soothe and restore your purity and bring it back powerfully, not with a vengeance, but with grace. Sensing my energy stand up and working around to the opposite side, returning, coming full circle, sitting with you, knee to knee, heart to heart, head to head, crown to crown. Palms facing out towards each other, placing it on top, creating a current, a complete circuit of giving and receiving. And it is here the space between our arms and our hearts. Fill that space, filled with the golden light of the sun of the solar plexus, replenishing us in the solar space that will flood out to all other spaces, to all our heart centers, down to our root, up to our crown. Feeling that glow starting from within, and realizing we have the control like a dimmer to turn it up and turn it down. Drawing our hands in front of our heart to close, drawing the spine up nice and tall, stacking our hips, heart, and head. Namaste. Stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me. It truly has been an honor. Truly, it has been an honor to be in your presence. And I'm going to cry again. That's how sentimental and meaningful it is. So thank you. Thank you.